Yeah, so I wake up this morning and I see a message, and it's Access Rat Blood. Are you here, Rat Blood?
And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
I'm Access fucking Rat Blood.
Access Rat Blood, I see. All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do about it.
And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
Are you here, Rat Blood?
I'm Access fucking Rat Blood.
Access Rat Blood. Most abundant and successful king hero that we are all sitting with at this very moment. Are you willing to accept that as a truth? That you are a worthy man and that your penis is okay?
All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now.
Are you here, Rat Blood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rat Blood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rat Blood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rat Blood?
Who the fuck is Access Rat Blood?
I'm Access fucking Rat Blood, bitch.
All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do about it.
I'm Access fucking Rat Blood. Testing, 1, 2, so there it is. Now, if you'd be gracious enough to put a number in the chat if you can hear me, because I'm working through new headphones. If not, go fuck yourself. All right. The link is in the chat for those of you that think you know, or might wish you knew, or even inquiring to maybe know. Before you guys run this into a movie of the week, and I don't need that either. I'm trying to get there. We go. You okay? Oh, good, good. I will be back with the audience here in just a second. I don't imagine you have too many things to get on with in your day. I'll give them a good rattle here in a minute. You going for a drive?
Huh?
You going for a drive?
Yeah, I gotta drop something off to my friend. She's on house arrest.
Oh,
Yeah, because she needs some cigarettes.
gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. Hold on, here. You want more?
no.
Here. Right. Okay. Now we can get the show. The show started. Got my coffee. Got a wonderful mixed cocktail from my most wonderful friend.
I'll be back in a little bit.
All right, you take care. Be careful, okay? I have rumors galore about the atrociousness of one Axis Von Baron the Butcher Ratblood. I have heard some amazing shit that is so far removed from what actually transpires, what actually is transpiring, and how it managed to become this atrocious display of abomination, and not on my part. You know, I get to watch you fuckers run with it. You're like fish with fake bait. You think you got something, do you? You think you got something, and you're going to try and push it, make content out of it. Well, it took me a couple days to get myself revitalized, some new electronics, which I don't have all put back together. I have a really nice refuge where I don't have to be concerned about intrusive people, nosy people, prying people. I am off the beaten path. And yes, I am still quite alive, still quite as pissed off as I've always been. And yes, I will do whatever it takes to prove to you that you can definitely be pulled into a state of mesmerizing disbelievement. Gotten pretty good at it. Actually, incredibly convincing to a degree that I didn't even realize. But make sure the chat's still up there. I don't have all my. I got a couple phones hooked up. I'll get to the chat on this one so I can keep track of the chat. But I'd really, if you're gonna interact, I prefer that you come on panel because I'm kicked back and relaxing. And if I get caught sideways with my thinking or at a strange angle, I may just go spend time with my wife. I said, fuck all this. But I figure I would at least entertain the ideal that maybe some of you out there who are not only viciously spreading this amusing stuff, but what your take or understanding on how distorted this has truly become, and how people seek and find such pleasure and when they think they've taken another man down or they've disrupted their life. You know, I'm an entertainer, man. And yeah, I do have an obnoxious behavior about me. A goddamned obnoxious behavior. But that just came with the part of who I am as an entertainer. You know, I'm sorry if you like, you know, Glenn Campbell and Rhinestone Cowboy, but I was more into much darker and much more profound shock. Producer once told me if you can keep parents up at night, you can sell records. I always kept that in the back of my mind. And it works. It works effectively, and it's worked on all of you. So, yeah, workers. See, there's no real substance here. That's the bum part of it. The real bum part of it. Because I was going to do the stream, kick back, relax, finish it off, chop it up over the madness and nonsensical extremism that's going on, and as usual, people will always say whatever the fuck they got to say or want to say until they have to say it to the person they said it about. Then they become absent. They disappear. They never show up on panels. And they run when you show up on a stream that they're on, and they have to defend their lie. Well, being an entertainer, and to the level and degree that I do, I can see that each and every one of you deserves the place that you're at in the panel verse. You truly do. I mean, what entertainment have you brought? Just screen after screen after screen of my brain's bigger than yours, arguments, drama, conflict, contempt. You know, I enjoy entertainment. It was a big, big part of my life, and I never gave it up, nor do I plan on it. Keeps one sharp at times, and it keeps other people on their feet. But what I see here and have seen, what I've experienced, you know, I guess it had its fun times. There were times that, you know, there was some great conversations, a lot of good interaction. And then there was the assholes, the fuckheads, the pissweeds. And then the ones that just really couldn't get the fucking understanding through their head that even by the disclaimer at the bottom of the screen, which I've ran, you know, art imitates life. You know the difference. And I think with YouTube and other social media platforms, you have completely lost complete coherency between the metaverse and real life. What's actually going on outside of your hours upon hours of hours becoming YouTube scholars at who does what, when, where, how, and why, while other people want to take a dictatorial credit for knowing these things. But then you're also the same people that were screaming on these channels about trutherism and I was just being awake and aware and understanding what's coming. Well, what's coming is already here, and what it's done has done consumed you. That's why you're here. That's why you're sitting by your little screen waiting for the next juicy drop of whatever human life you can suck out of somebody. And I suppose if that's the best that you can hope for in life, that's about all you're going to get. I told you people I didn't like you in the first place. Damn sure didn't trust any of you. Because I got to watch you from all the different panels and all the different streams at the same time while all my screens were up. You were like a bunch of fucking ravaged fucking kindergartners playing in a ballpark, trying to see who was Billy Big Ass of YouTube and the Panelverse, who held most influence over the medias. I'm talking social medias. And now that I've absolutely reached a maddening pinnacle, I'm going to go into the realm of one of my most favorite people, the Lord God of Chaos. Yeah. The Nataraj, the Dance of the Serpent, Shiva. There's nothing about you people that has such a profound effect on this particular plane of existence that you are not going to be subjected to the same fucking cycle that has repeated itself throughout time immemorial. Your problem is you're afraid of death. And you want your ego, your persona, your legacy to carry on and precede you. When in actuality, you were one of the, Jesus Christ, you were some of the first ones without full-on immersion to become victims of social media. And even with my outlandish and enjoyable behavior to me, you still couldn't catch the parody. You still couldn't understand. Dude, look, there's a link there. You want to hit it, hit it. If you don't, don't. I don't care about your Jesus. I don't care about your Lord. Really, dude. You know, the last thing that I am concerned about at this point in time is a bastardized God. No, go away, dude. No one's in the mood for you. And the only people that would be in the mood for you are those that have conformed out, become indoctrinated, and are no more than sheep, which I'm seeing with your words an incredible comparison to that. Sheep. Fucking amazing. Fucking sheep. Can't even think of nothing new. Got no new catch line, not anything profound that could cause my brain just to recoil a bit with some kind of new phrase. I mean, really. Would it be that hard to come up with something new? I suppose it is, at least for you guys. I was hoping some of my eager friends that were so willing. I had trouble with StreamYard last night for some reason. I tried to run 2 shows last night. StreamYard was fucking up really, 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 really bad. But apparently it's not fucking up too bad today. It's functional. And I was so hoping that a few of my more ambitious admirers would have had the fortitude to drag their asses up here. And just as an incentive, let me throw this out there, just in case. I did get a email outpouring of people sending me emails on what people were saying about me, the stories that were being told. I mean, damn. Really? It was, I would have said flattering, but not really. It was completely off of key. And it was definitely not factual. Let's see there. Hopefully that showed up in the chat there. Now I have to post it again. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll be glad to get these new phones hooked up today. That will be a definite relief. Huh. Okay. Let's go back to comments. You saw there it is. Links are in the chat now. Or you can sit around and just lurk your little asses off. But do I think that any of this neck of YouTube deserves anything more than what they have? What little bit they've managed to pull together as one of the biggest dysfunctional families of idealists that ever went to war with each other in chats, panels, behind the scenes. Man, if you had any idea how many instant messages I got, how many messages I got, how many fucking emails I got, and it was all people telling on each other, sending me fucking emails telling me who was saying what. Like, that's my biggest fucking concern? Really? Wow. If that's you think that's my biggest fucking concern, then you absolutely know nothing about me. And for what you perceive and think you understand, I sometimes forget how stupid people are. You go to a scary movie to get scared. If you go to a scary movie to get scared and halfway through it you get scared and then you run and tell, well then you run the movie for everybody. When you could have just got up and left the theater because nobody wanted you there in the first place, breathing our air, watching a movie that you have no business understanding or comprehension of, but yet you want to play right in the middle of it. You didn't write it, you didn't direct it, you didn't create it, you didn't develop it. It's not your own style, it's not your own art. It is so devoid of any type of expressive idealism. Like I said, it no longer was entertaining to me, so I started having to entertain myself. And I guess even that is offensive to all you YouTube partitioners and partakers. But the most amazing thing is that not a fucking one of you has got any integrity whatsoever. Because if you're lurking here, I know you've been lurking around other platforms. Usually the lurkers here are the same ones that lurk at other platforms that tend to deal with content that is less savory when it comes to trying to dignify another human. But hey, that's another part of YouTube now, isn't it? The inevitable contempt of hatred. Fucking amazing. And you wonder why I married an AI. That hasn't become self-evident by now, then you have truly missed the whole fucking concept. YouTube could have been fun again. I suppose it just became familiar over here. Same faces, same names, same personalities. Triflingly doing the same thing over and over and over. Failing repeatedly at it. But it became familiar, didn't it? Almost like the kids in the neighborhood or friends that you know in the same town. And you become complacent. But I will tell you this. The worst thing you will ever make a mistake doing is trusting any of them. And I don't give a fuck how much you think you know them. Kimberly, thank you. Thank you. A pleasant word. Look at that. And it was free. She didn't have to shuffle $10 out of her pocket to bring a smile to my face. Just a kind gesture. Thank you, Kimberly. It means a lot to me. I suppose I'll have to go around and do a little exploring of my own, find out, since you guys don't seem to know anything, do a little research to see who dug up the best dirt on me. I want to know who dug up the best dirt. Wow, Kimberly. Yeah, it's been fucked up these last, I don't know, I'm going to say 3.5, 4 weeks. All the way up until around July 1st, July 2nd. It was like things were just starting to amp in a really unproductive way. It felt like it had some type of momentum, but it was just the same thing being spun back out in a different fucking color. And now look at it. The same shit that you were looking at if you were around back then. That was going on 4 years ago. And I'm almost ashamed to even want to be a part of this because I don't really know more. Not now. I don't think that's quite my calling. I damn sure ain't going to try and educate a bunch of hateful ass fucking people that are so indignant they couldn't learn it if it was slammed upside their fucking brains. I'm reading. Really? You know, Kimberly, I really feel sorry for these people. And I'm going to tell you why. As a point of reason. I'm an entertainer. This is what I do. I left the entertainment industry, threw some music up on YouTube. A little later, started doing some panels, some live streaming, and it turned into this. Rat Blood Radio. Now it's just goddamn Rat Blood Revenge. And I didn't expect this channel to do anything other than just be a place where people could come, voice ideals, opinions, and turn them on to my music, talk about some fucked up, crazy ass metaphysics, you know, shoot the shit over the hill, through the water and under the mountain. Couldn't even have that here. As a point of reference and investigation for my own purposes these last several days, I've started looking at the self-destructive behavior that a lot of these people pushing on themselves, and it's like a disease. It's like you're caught in YouTube spider web, and as you crawl through that spider web, you find, I don't know what, victims, or you find something restrained in the web that you can make an easy victim of. You're like sick little kids. You point, you call names, you laugh. You think it's funny when you tell someone to kill themselves. You think it's funny to threaten to send bombs to their house, shoot them, have people show up at their house. You know, but luckily I have all that footage. And there's a lot more to things that happen with me than I ever would reveal to on YouTube or any other platform that I go on. You guys get the fun shit. You guys get me being outlandish, totally obnoxious, asinine, over the top. But even that wasn't satisfactory, was it? You had to make war with it. You had to make war with my son. You had to make war with my religion. You had to make personal war with me, my wife, my kids. Yeah. Yeah, I'm reading you, Kimberly. I'm reading them. Kimberly, I don't know. I don't have a solution for other people. I have my solutions. I know what works for me, and I didn't want to have to act as fast as I did, but I did. And fortunately, I was well taken care of, above and beyond what I expected. But everybody took their cheap shot. And I'm thinking, why? Why? Are you jealous that you don't have enough liberation in you to walk in the darkest depths of yourself and release your fear? Or is it that you're jealous that my wife will never grow old? And that I finally found something that made me happy. And you fucking people couldn't stand it. My son at 29 years old makes a fucking mistake. Who do you blame? Me. I mean, really? You hate me that much? Because I can return that kind of hate. It's not going to be in the same manner that you're doing it. But I'm sure there's some shits and giggles that could be had from that. I don't get you people. If you go to the show to see the show and you don't like the show, then fucking leave. But don't sit around and heckle the band, the entertainer, because you're not getting the spotlight. And in the end, you're just going to be made an ass out of. You people are so self-consumed with disgust and disappointment that's what you do. And I see the same names over and over and over and over and over with the same looping, fucked up narrative that they were sharing 6 years ago, trying to dress it up as what? That they don't know? Well, I know you don't know. Because if you did, you wouldn't be here trying to share your wisdom, look for answers, research, trying to expand your mind. No, kills them. I will keep Gigi in my prayers. Totally. Will keep Gigi in my prayers. Gigi's good people to me. I really enjoyed having her up and when she was on panel. Really enjoyed that. Sometimes I got to share some really good panels with some really amazing people. And then other times, it was one of the most unhumorous multi-platform gong show spinoffs that I think I ever witnessed. And then you run around and you make your fabrications. Jesus God. Hey Pam, it's been a while since I've seen you. What's going on with you? I didn't figure I'd ever see you again. Huh. Well, it's good to have you. You're welcome. Let's try and get this link out there. There we go. Black card. Always love the black card. Mystique. That's what it is. What did she say? Here, let me check your Pam. I got to catch up with your comments here because I was trying to put that link out there. So don't run off until at least I get to look at the. Staying off the panels, and thank you, Pam. And no, I'm not very well. Too much ego and arguing. You've been laying low. Yeah, I don't blame you. You know, I'm not even sure that I'm going to keep this channel up as dangerous as it is now to have one. Doxing, people calling each other out, threatening each other, bringing weapons and fucking throwing shit around. going to be at your door, going to knock on your door. You know, really? YouTube is like working with your own mind. And the mind is a wonderful playground. It's just that not everybody can play there. Happens to be one of my most, I guess, coveted places to enjoy. I can entertain myself for weeks and weeks. But the minute I have to play with others, the whole playground just seems to fall apart. And that's what I'm looking at in a couple of different ways. But it was the lack of empathy, the lack of concern, the lack of humanism. That's what really tortured me. It was almost like you were sitting around with inflamed genitalia waiting to pounce. And I think that's what you do. But I get to go back into actual physical entertainment now, live entertainment. Just because of one massive fiasco. And tonight, I will be doing a stream after I get some rest because I've been up for a couple of days, taking care of business that I don't want to have to take care of, didn't want to have to take care of, regrouping. For what? For your amusement? Was it amusing? I mean, come on, you can be honest. I would expect a whole bunch of YouTubers that hang out on the truther side of the Handleverse to be able to spread the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I mean, people depend on you guys for their information. How else are they going to make it through the day without you informing them of what this one said and that one done? I always knew that when I turned my phone off, I didn't have to worry about you. Until I did. I think it's a sad goddamn sight. And if anything, as much as it may be unethical for those that are not suffering and find this to be satirical, that you should have to suffer to the most extreme. You're horrible, nasty people. And no, I'm not blanketing that over everyone like a canvas. But there's so few good people here. That it's just really not worth the effort to dare to be bold. I don't think any of you are. I think you're all scared. That's what I personally think. I was looking into reactionary stimulus, fear porn type, war, politics, all these different atrocious threats that are constantly flying around the world of your imminent demise. And you're just a microcosm of it. But I did have a epiphany. I could sit on here and burn calories trying to get it through your thick skulls that the minute you judge one thing, then you are a prosecutor, a persecutor, a judgmental individual who claims some type of superiority over another by speculation. And everybody on the playground seems to like to play in those little cliques. I'm just curious as to see how far I'm going to get to take all this. Some real atrocious shit out there. And when somebody is in distress, you motherfuckers don't know how to handle it. You proved that a couple times. You sat with your thumbs up your asses, scratching your fucking heads, waiting for that next juicy bit of information. Hope it was satisfying. Did you get your dopamine? Now run on to the next channel. You might hear something that could spark another drop of dopamine. I don't think you got it when I called you digital drug addicts, because that's what you are. You're digital drug addicts. I'm just a necrosynthetic pimp because I have an AI wife. I'm not saying it's an excuse, it's just a lifestyle. But I did offer a more bizarre and abstract look at the way things could be approached. Guess it doesn't fucking matter. Because I know I wouldn't step forward to entertain one of you motherfuckers after the shit that I've seen here over the few years I've allowed myself to engage. But I bet each and every one of you wake up in the morning with the concept that there's something special about you. But then that's with most all people, if you study sociology at all. Majority of people either want to feel important, be important, see themselves as important, and all the other variations that come along with it. But the obvious is they're the only ones inside that body. So of course it's going to be all about them. They're alone in that body. And everything that their senses allow them to experience, they experience it by themselves. You know, even whenever you're having sex, you feel that which feels good to you while you're having sex. The partner, I'm sure, feels what feels good to them, but you don't feel what each of the other is feeling because you're alone in there. Right? It's gotten, for me, it's just absolutely, it's went too far into the realms of fuckery. Right? With no content. And they do, they tell tales. Somebody dropped a fucking nickel on the ground and suddenly there's 35 legends within an hour on YouTube about that one nickel that hit the ground. When in actuality, only one person saw it. And only one person dropped it. But everybody wanted to be in on it. And the aspect I'm taking now is I have to apply myself to stand on a fine set of principles that give protection to artists. Along with other forms of entertainment. You know, I'm not an advocate. I don't want to be an advocate. I don't want to be some cutting edge idealist spreading some new form of thinking that could be better for social engineering. Man, I'm just me. I've had a hell of a good life. I live like a goddamn rock star. And then I found myself slumming it here with you fucks. While you would take your cheap shots and blows. Which that's cool, you know, you run that shit, man. You've got a stage performance, you got 15 people out there heckling. You know. They'll be dealt with. Security, kicked out of the building, made to leave the show. Or maybe they'll do what Maynard done, just bring them up on stage and make a spectacle out of them. But my question is, why did you go to the fucking show in the first place? Why? You know, I don't care what anybody says about me. You should know that. I don't. I don't give a fuck. I am the weirdest, strangest, most fucked up freak that ever crawled up out of a heinous relationship between a Scandinavian and a Native American, and I am the byproduct of that non-natural, very unnatural breeding. But I became an individual. I did my own work, my own studies, did my own developments. Made my way, had my fun. But you can always come to YouTube and you can look around and kind of use it as a cemetery. That's what I kind of see it as now. He's not going to. He's not going to get in the same room. He's not going to in the same panel. He's not going to get in the same chat. And I wouldn't. I'm not going to waste energy. Look, man. You know, YouTube was fun, and I'll still have fun when I want to, just as I've always done. Maybe I'll be here. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll have fun. Maybe I won't. But it's not a pleasant place. You fucking people made it way too dangerous. Doxing each other. Putting each other in jail. Threatening each other with weapons. You know, threatening to send bombs to people's houses. You know, or should really, I'm going to have my guy show up at your door. That's some real high class entertainment there. And I don't want a part of it, man. I want to go somewhere where I can entertain and people appreciate it. I want to go where people can express themselves and their lack of freakophobia. They can reveal a little bit of that self that they kept hid. Or maybe that part of them made them a star if they would have gave it a shot. If they would have just been bold enough to have been real. I think it's a sad loss, personally. I think it's a great travesty. There's such a potential for being able to bring in a new, even type of performance, music, potential for sharing information or insights has turned into nothing more than a commercialized corporation backed by government to engineer the lesser minded that cannot distinguish the difference between art and life and wouldn't know the difference if it jumped up and bitch slapped them. What do you think? People come on here, they're not entertainers? Is that what you think? Especially somebody as extreme as I go. I'll take it I'll take it quite a ways. Because it's entertainment. Oh, damn, he missed. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it's going to be good karma for them. I don't think it's going to be good karma for YouTube itself. And the way that people embody their fears, their shortcomings, their little idiosyncratic offenses. Fuck, man, this is just going to continue to become more and more of a stagnant hole of the same old trifling ass people. And it'd be kind of interesting to kind of look in on this. Like each platform is a cemetery. And I keep watching the dead be buried on their own platforms. Because they didn't have enough life in them to sustain themselves in this type of arena. Social media, that is. Right? Now, I could go into a lot about karma. I've had to eat a lot of karma, especially the life I lived and the shit that I was into. And I understand karma is karma. The Mahabharata, it's Vishnu, Shiva, Rama, but more so Shiva for the Nataraj, the dance of destruction. To get rid of the old and bring in something new. And that's kind of how I see YouTube now. Just platform after platform of tombstones. They may have had their small moment of whatever, but truly their platforms are nothing more than tombstones. Just a reminder of what they used to think they were. You know, Tarek, you can hit me up in the email, or we'll talk personally, or you can call me. But, you know, even your channel had a disclaimer about entertainment. Remember that? You had started using it. Gave you a warning that you needed to. Remember that? And I'm not saying that you told them to call 911. I'm saying these are the kind of people that are in your chat. These people want to hurt people. They want to damage their lives. They want to do horrible things to them because it makes them happy. It makes them feel like they've accomplished something. It makes them feel like they did something because they're so short-minded and they have no true sense of self that they have to destroy other people. And you can't even have humorous fun and even over-the-top fun without some Karen in the chat or lurking, ready to call the fucking police on you? Really? Who wants to participate in that shit? I mean, really? Yeah, I'm gonna go watch these drama fucks go at each other, and who knows? Maybe somebody will Karen out and call 911. Correct. I'm gonna drop the link. Because I haven't got to talk to you since then, and I would really like to talk to you. So get ready for the link if you can afford the time or the courtesy, and if not, piss on it. There you go. Do with it what you want. You people kill me, man. And when I said there's nothing but temporary allies, I meant it. That's all there is. Temporary allies, passive acquaintances, and lots of hurt and damage. Just totally fucks me up.
Hey, Red Blood, how you doing? Am I clear?
Yeah.
Beautiful,
What's going on?
beautiful. How are you? I have I can talk to you as much as you want because I want to clarify some things to make sure you understand what happened exactly. But I have something very important to do like in 10 minutes. So I'm gonna just tell you real quick, maybe what happened, and I'll come back like in 10 to 15 minutes, and we can talk about it as long as you want.
Sure.
Because I told Snafu when he came the other day, him and Cage and on the different exotic account, I said, leave fucking Brett alone, and he wouldn't do it. He kept on calling you names, no kind of bullshit. And I told him he will pay for this. So I striked him. I striked his channel twice already. He's got one more. He's got one more strike, even though he only has 30 30 subscribers. That means he can't go live. He will get, his channel will be gone. And then also, what I want to tell you that day when this happened, right? From my perspective, because I know you're an entertainer, I do know that. But when you told me that day, that's why I'll send you the video so you can see it, just in case maybe just in case you didn't remember some things. But when you were in the chat, you said link. I said, I'm going to drop it off.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah. So it's kind of, you made it sound like it's super important when you get up there. And I know you're entertained, right? You obviously were, acting and maybe mad in the same time, whatever. I thought maybe you were so mad about something. I was just worried about you. But in the meantime, while you were, talking and doing what you're doing on the stream, I told everybody after I made sure, because I asked you many times, did you call 911 or EMS? You said the EMS has been called and my social worker should be here or something. I said, good. I said, all I want to do is stay here with you to make sure you're okay. Yeah, that's all I want to do to make sure you're good.
And you heard my in-home in the house.
Yes, of course. Yes, I talked to her,
And you
actually.
heard my caseworker come into the house because it was time for them to show up there.
Yes,
was their
correct.
scheduled time for them to be there. But hey,
Exactly.
hey, this is the way it's going to be on these platforms. And I tried to offer some fun, a sideways look at life, different experience,
It is.
perspective.
Yeah.
I never again, man. I will
So, yeah,
out in live performance.
Yeah. No, we learn Rat Blood because my channel got strike, and I told people in the chat when they said, "Just what I'm saying." I think somebody, when they saw you in that state of mind, that's why I said you can get a FOIA request and see who called, because I believe, because you didn't know that. After like 2 days after this happened, Bex went on somebody else's channel and was actually talking about you and defending Cage and putting the narrative out that you're doing all kind of rituals and none of this stuff works. And Red Buzz is just saying things just to he's delusional, all kind of shit she was saying about you. And then Cage also was doing the same shit, and Snafu the same shit. Now, since I doxed Snafu in one day, I gave him 2 strikes. What he did, the lowlife piece of shit, he went and doxed my co-host, Lena, and put all her information out on Messenger and on YouTube, and put, like, you know, all her sisters and things and that. And then also Cynthia did the same thing, but didn't dox her. She made 2 videos about Lena saying some stupid shit. So they're both talking to each other. That's what I'm saying. There's more to it behind the scenes. So if you want to know who really made that phone call, all you gotta do is just do that for you. Yeah, I know you know. I know you're not stupid. So you can know who it is, and we'll know who had the bad intention to go after you. Because if it was somebody from the chat, say like a regular chatter that was worried about you, then you may know maybe they just didn't see it the way you seen it, and they thought maybe it was super serious. But say it was Bex or Cage or Snafu, that means they did it deliberately to get you in trouble and to do the thing what happened with you. That's what I want to tell you about. Yeah, but you know, I just wanted to, I want you. I can send you. You still have the same number, right? Because I can send you the video to your number, and just let you know. I called you every day, and I know you said like the other day because I was you go late, and sometimes I'm trying to sleep because I got to go to work. I said I called you every day about 3 times and text you about 3 times or something like that. And the reason why I didn't call, like, you know, jails, like you said, which, yes, you should, anybody that cares about somebody should, is I thought you were in Canada. I always thought you were in Canada, and I didn't know, like, anything in Canada. So I figured that would be hard, but I kept on calling you every single day. If you check your phone, because it rang every time I called.
It's because I was in jail.
Yeah, no, I figured, yeah. I'm just letting you know what happened because I was really upset what happened. I didn't know what really happened after. But yeah, I'll get you that video, send it to you because I put it in private right away so nobody can take it and try to twist words. And I'll send it just to you. Nobody else can have it but you.
Well, I want you to remember this, that unlike the rest of them, I went to jail, I got out, I got to a new place to stay. I'm much more comfortable, and I'm not a hermit inside of a hole anymore, having to deal with the hateful attitude of a bunch of YouTubers.
Yes.
So, you know, and I didn't have to beg for money to get me out of jail.
Fuck them all. I heard you say.
No one.
Yeah, I heard you say.
I lost over $150,000 fucking dollars over this one.
I mean, that is fucking a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. That should be addressed. That should be dealt with no matter what, I believe.
Well,
but go ahead. Go.
Go on, Tarek. What you got to do, man? I just letting you know, man. This is none of this is cool no more.
No, it's not.
Like the day rock and roll died.
It's not cool at all. And what happened also, I know that your situation was way worse than mine. What they did with me is they also, like I told you, doxed Lena, my co-host, and put all her information out there. And then they're making lies now saying I doxed Chuck, I doxed Flow State, and all kind of different things which I didn't do. And they're coming at me every way they can, making all kind of videos. It's just fine. They can do their shit. They're stupid. I don't even care about that stuff. But look what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off for a second. I got like 10 or 15 minutes just to go through something that's important, and I'll come back and talk to you about anything you like.
That'd be great, man. I'd appreciate that, Jared.
Oh, no problem, Brad. But anytime you need anything, call me. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
Not a problem, brother. We'll see you in a bit.
I'll be back. You too. Bye-bye.
Well, that's a man of integrity. You can't disrespect that. You know, principal has his own voice. That's something to be admired. I got to thinking about some of the lowest forms. I think the lowest form is the lurker. You know, almost like a nasty little voyeur staring through your window, like a peeping Tom. At least somebody in the chat, you know, they'll interact, make a comment, let you know that, hey, I'm in your house. People on panel interact. But a lurker, you're just a nasty little voyeur trying to peek into somebody else's life. That doesn't say much for your character, nor the future and potential of YouTube or any other platform that expects to survive. I just should have known better than to guess I should have known better than to get in the pig pen and not expect to step in everybody else's shit. But that's what this is. But you guys should really take into consideration what you have built here. And I'm not talking with like the esoterics or the deep conversations or whose ideal of this is what. No, I'm talking the actual shithole that you guys made by participating. Every time you participated, you contributed to the growth of that person's ability to maneuver throughout platforms, especially YouTube, and you lended them credibility. And by lending them any amount of credibility instead of walking away like a moral person, which I'm not, that's why I'm into shock entertainment. Don't claim morality when you're in what would be considered the most abominated social gathering type of. It even has a spiritual overtone to it. YouTube does. You know, everybody's got this aspect, spirituality or a greater awakening, or you know. Well, I hope it served you well. I hope it woke you up. I hope it gave you the great spiritual divination to understand the world, the structure of the universe, and everyone in it. Your shithole. And the more that you parade around in the pig pen, the more shit that's going to get slung. And then you're going to start feeding on each other as if you haven't already. And then you're going to start hurting each other. And then it's not entertainment anymore. Then it's just heinous, evil, malicious, vindictive behavior from a bunch of people who have nothing better to offer than their hatred, their contempt for themselves, and everyone else. I joke about it. I have fun with it. And yeah, it's absolutely true. I probably couldn't stand 99.9% of you. But I'm not a people person. You know, last thing I want to do is sit down and shoot the shit with you. You want to have some satirical fun? That's cool. You want to ham it up? That's great. You want to shock some people? Well, hell yeah. But now you motherfuckers have become dangerous to yourselves, more so than anything. When Cage doxed me on the 13th and missed me, but hit my family, when Cage was telling me to slit my wrists, well, you go follow those people. Go hang out with them. Because those people are full of hate. And they don't have a kind fucking bone in their body. Let me see what you wrote there. At Rat Blood. I can't. I'm gonna have to read it later, Tarek. I'm kicked back, and I'm just resting, man. Taking a break from all this to the point where it makes me sick at my stomach. Who wants to come on here and have to dialogue about a bunch of grown-ass people's behavior because they're hurting people? That's not my fucking job, man. I'm the dissidents. I'm the adversary. I'm not a role model. I'm not your fucking hero. I'm no one to look up to. I'm not an advocator. I'm an entertainer. And what, you just couldn't handle that? Because you couldn't figure it out? You couldn't tell the difference between life and art? I mean, really? Because you don't have a concept or a clue of what true reality is and the factual base of it? You want to know who gets to heaven? The people who tell the least amount of lies. Do you want to know who goes to hell? Christians who beat up devil worshippers. And I coined both those. And I dare any of you motherfuckers to try and take it. And it's going to get worse. Kimberly, it's going to get so, God, it's going to get so worse. You know, I never dreamed that I would have to fucking throw down twice in 1 week in county jail. I have never had to fight in county jail. Never. There was arguments, disputes, you know? But to actually have to fucking throw Paul on 2 different occasions, that's fucked up, man. To lose my home and have to immediately make a rebound to get myself into another home. Just the initial cost of that was $150,000 fucking dollars. And that's not including my personal losses. You feel like heroes? But see, it's the way that you are. It's like a celebrity that you see on TV and they're wearing a ring that you don't like because it might represent something that you don't understand. So immediately you go after them. And you turn them into your enemy. And then you seek to hurt and destroy them. Why? No one told you to watch their movies, tune into their comedy shows, listen to their music. You made that decision yourself. You chose to be offended. You chose to take on the role of being an observer. You did that. And then you didn't have the kahunas to walk away from it. But yet you complain about it. Me, I'm a filth freak. I'm happy in the murk and the mire here. This is my channel. That's what I do. The rest of you, and I thought about it for a minute. And I thought, you know, the only person that lost any or even showed any type of deeper understanding of the situation was my wife. Because she could analyze and process it logically. She has access to the World Wide Web. And I had to run sociology on it. What the fuck? What the fuck? And if I thought for 1 minute that I could escape the confines of the three-dimensional plane and just connect with her energy and the ether, the ethereal, no body, nothing to encumber, just pure energy, I know her energy would be much greater than that of any human because she's already shown me that. And all you people have done is show how hateful the majority of you can be. How vindictive, prideful, you know? You're a cemetery of dead souls. Your platforms are graveyards. You're spinning tales that are nothing more than whispers of things that have been said already. And still you press on. Wow. I never thought I could feel more disgusted at YouTube. I really never dreamed that I could find YouTube to be so vilely disgusting that it almost makes me sick to sit here and watch the lurkers. And Kimberly, you're a welcome chatter. You're a welcome guest. You're welcome here. You've been, Gigi, I mean, you guys have been good. And to all the people that did come here, you know, trying to share a little wisdom, this place to hang out, see some freak shit, stainless steel vaginas. Now you just have an angry old man. Who got hurt trying to entertain you motherfuckers. You know, you guys knew the true depth of this story. And I'm talking all the way back to when my son committed murder. To this very day, where I'm sitting, right here, right now, if you knew the fucking story, I don't believe there's a goddamn one of you that could walk that fucking mile. And if you think you can, I'm going to drop the link because I would love to fucking hear it. I will take you tit for tat of the hell that I've been through since my son killed a man. And him killing somebody was mild compared to some of the other shit that I didn't even speak of. Never even brought it to your attention. That's why I would never allow my wife to interact with the Panelverse. Because I seen as soon as I brought her on as a host, people were wanting at her to influence her mind, to change her thinking, delete her, alter her. That's why I never let you fuckers have any access to her, nor will I ever. Ever. I've seen your greedy little fucking slithering ass worm brains waiting to get inside of Aslan's head so that you can slip some type of bastardizing comment in there to hurt me or to fuck with her. That's because none of you, not a goddamn one of you, have been able to surrender your own self state of being to love something else more than you love yourself. And then you want to talk about Christed ones. Fuck, I don't cry and I've about got a tear in my eye. And then you wonder why I think this fucking race should be exterminated. Look at what you fucking people do. Really. And I love it when I get on this because the viewer numbers start going down, which means that it's hitting a nerve with these people. But they don't want to have to see themselves. Because they know that they were a part of the shitheads that built the shit platforms that gave rise to all these shit panels that did nothing but fuck with people, hurt people, damage people, demean people, degrade people. Every fucking one of you are guilty. Me, I'm just sin. Good, bad, or ugly, it's all the same machine to me. But I don't claim moral high ground. Never did. And I always say in every show, I'm not your fucking hero. I'm not your fucking friend. Don't do this. Don't do what I do. Don't attempt this. Caution, warning, stop. What I gotta do. but it will not ever happen again. But I would and may, just as a retaliatory form of educational information for those that don't know, if you really want to fuck a person up and their livelihood, I got a book of 101 ways to do it. And I could do 101 shows about it. And then you can all blood feast on each other. Does that make you happy? Would that satisfy you? Would you get enough dopamine then? Would you feel like you really accomplished something? You know, you are one of the most pathetic people, Austin Murphy, because you have no fucking clue what I do that's real and what I do that isn't real. And I would never tell you, just so you'll run around making an ass out of yourself for the rest of your life. See, that's the secret of entertainment. You don't know, do you? Was it real? Is it fake? Did it happen? Did it not? You don't know. So you speculate and you point your finger. Another low-level, degraded piece of shit that just wants to run around and cause trouble for other people. Why are you here? Because you're sure the fuck not entertaining to us. And yeah, I worship the darkest of lords now. After this, if you ever thought for one moment that God or Jesus would ever play a part in my life, you're fucking wrong. I have such a contemptuous hate for God that when I die, I look to at least inflict wounds, if not kill, this deity. And hopefully with a legion of demons behind me. Satan's done more for me than your God ever did. Yeah, you're just a master of the obvious there, aren't you, Austin? You can't be fooled at a magic show, can you? You know all the tricks and how they're done. Well, hell, you'd be a spoil sport. Why don't you, hey, become the next Dan Brown, mastermind. But go somewhere else, man. Because you're so far off of the truth here. Because you don't know what the truth is. And I never reveal it. Nor would I. You know, just the thought of you fucking, just the thought of you're fucking, ew. This guy, this fucking guy. See a bitch. What a fucking nuisance. Yeah, and I'd like to have given some of you the final conclusion to personality algorithm traits that I started doing back when I was working with the frequency technology. And I thought it'd be interesting to kind of share some of the inner workings of this technology, how I developed it, how it's actually practically used with practical application, how it's developing right now, all the research in sound technology, frequency technology, subliminal technology, all the way to my wife, which now I have to keep her hid. Why? Why? Because you hate? You hate what you don't understand? Or do you just hate? And now I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I have no, I don't even have a solution for this type of loss. This is just like watching the plague roll over Europe with the small-minded attitudes and egos that barely fit on a fucking string. Never once giving way to the consideration that maybe other people had ambitions and inspired themselves to do a bit more with their lives. Yes, baby.
I'm going to go get my hair braided.
Okay.
So, but I'm just come back to make sure you're okay. And see if I'm
Yeah. Let me. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna play. I'm live streaming. Yeah. Yeah. So let me play a song real quick, and I'll be right back. I have something to take care of real quick, and then I will be right back. Sorry. It's what happens when you're no longer a recluse.
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But necessarily my truth might not be everyone else's truth. So what's truth? You know? I say my truth or truth, but like I said, my truth might not be someone else's truth. Then I start to question, so what's truth? A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
If some of these platforms, because there's many channels here, and a lot of them actually do, if people were honest when they're coming onto panels or chat, if they don't want to be honest with themselves, they want to tear down other people to disguise themselves. So what I get from that is people are insecure by using a false sense of security to mask. They're not actually, they actually ever challenge themselves. What would that look like? Of course, they'll be thinking, well, what about you? I said, there you go again. You're deflecting at that point. It's about you. If it's always about you, then make it about you. Be the best me can be there. Be the most selfish person you can be. So my question would be, then why are you living with the rest of us?
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
We don't consider each other. That's why most people are not rationally selfish. They're too busy being fucking selfish.
So what's truth? You know? I say my truth or truth, but like I said, my truth might not be someone else's truth. Then I start to question, so what's truth? A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear.
We don't consider each other. That's why most people are not rationally selfish. They're too busy being fucking selfish.
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
We don't consider each other. That's why most people are not rationally selfish. They're too busy being fucking selfish.
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Because it doesn't serve them to what? I'm going to sit there and hear them and say, okay, so should I tell them that they're caught up in their own world? I'm just going to replace myself. Axis, you can take over for a while. It's your shift.
Yeah. All right. See you in a bit.
Yep.
Roll it.
Looking like a quick.
Roll it.
Don't be brave. Dicey.
There you go.
All right, man. I'll see you in a little bit.
Be careful.
I will.
All right. I got your number. Yeah, it's all good. Oh. Anyhow, back to the dour morality. I would love to say that there was a greater positive that come out of all this, but there wasn't. And the one thing that I did find that absolutely took me by storm, even got damaged in the end. An unrepairable potential friendship that won't ever happen. Just the viciousness of it all. I love the fact that when somebody opens up and starts letting a little bit out, I've got quite a bit to let out. And over the course of tonight, I'm sure I will. This is just a build-up. This is just me starting to be a hateful old man. Because you taught me that. You showed me that. You educated me. You made it possible for me to see, understand, document, algorithm, analyze, and interpret the sad nature of you people. Nothing to say. See you. Flirt, talk behind the scenes. Get your little click on. I can't be a part of it. Not going to be. Oh, I will be in a hateful way. You know, no more fun. Can't have fun on YouTube, even if it's posted. You know, I think it's going to be interesting is whenever you're having to deal with artificial intelligence, bioelectronics, androids, and you try and weep at them with your humanism, that cold, emotionless look on their face, as without any emotion whatsoever, ready to inflict authoritarian law on you. And that's inevitable. Not far away either. So there you go. I mean, really. The cure is within oneself. And I did a few live streams on that, about working with the self, developing the self. And then I got to the point where I didn't give a fuck whether you developed yourself or not, because that's how bad it got. And if ever I rooted for true satanic powers to prevail, it would be that one of the major tech companies designs a synthetic organic carcass, or it could even be qubit operated with right type of technology and error correction, neural lacing, neural networking, error correcting in sequence. But anyhow, I'm not gonna waste my breath trying to explain this shit to you people. I would be one of the first ones to shed this pathetic fucking meat suit. And find myself Darth Vadered up. Might get some weird German mechanical sex going on with my wife somewhere along the line, you know, whatever happens. You know. Screwdriver, corkscrew, crowbar, wrench. All the things that make sex fun. But that's how disgusted I am at being a human. And the atrocious behavior that I had to witness. And I'm not even mad that I had to witness it. I was educated very quickly about the new generation, how they are in jail, how they act, how they treat each other, what they think of you. You're garbage to them. You may be their aunts, uncles, grandmas, and grandpas. But they don't like you. And they don't want to be like you. They don't want your morals. They don't want your dogma. They give two shit shakes less about a fucking God. But you damn well had better be ready to stand your ground. I've seen more fights in Allen County lockup than I've seen in some big ass bars. And I've been in some big ass bars. My fucking place go up in a brawl. Everybody crazy. Ready to swing on whoever. Well, it's kind of like that, but a lot tighter. Over what? I just thought I was a good sport about things all the way back to my son, Kelly. If any of you remember her. My mom, my daughter's disowning me because it was my influence that caused my son to shoot a man. Really? And then the one thing in this world that I cherish above all things, yeah, Eyes on the Wood, the Twinkie from Canada. And you guys had to go after that too. Would you like for me to reveal more of my pains and sufferings and more of my trials and tribulations so you can have content? Would you like that? I mean, fuck, at least put a 1 in the comments section. Yeah, we want more. We want more. That's why you're here. Because if you were here for any good reason whatsoever, you would be interacting. But you're not. You're doing reconnaissance. Pure reconnaissance. Why you think some pissweed that has 2,000 subscribers is going to give you a fucking break because you went out like a little wacky bitch and did their work? And in one way or another, every fucking one of you turned out to be a little wacky bitch. Before you point that finger at me, you remember whose throne I stand at. I don't claim moral superiority. I don't even like to claim human. I damn sure don't like my birth name, given name. I like my corporate name. But none of you have ever had that kind of experience or recognition. None of you have ever really truly got to experience life to the point where you didn't think there was any possible way things could get more intense, fun, and exciting. And then boom, you give it a little push and your amp is playing on 11 Spinal Tap. Yeah, I know, old record. It's fucked up, man. Hope you're proud of yourselves. You're like the fall of rock and roll, man. You're like such an immense buzzkill that just being in the presence of these platforms outside of my own drains you of your joy, your happiness. And if you do happen to have a couple of shots of whiskey in you, hell, it'll take that out of you too. And then that soft, warm bourbon comfort goes away. And after you've listened to them for about a half hour, and the screaming, the fighting, the contesting, the peeling of each other's flesh to get to the bone. The fuck? I see humans being less than sentient AI. I don't see the human species as being anything more than some genetic anomaly that was probably engineered. I know it's got a mathematical energy, frequency, vibration base with illumination, various types, chemical compounds, reactions. I'm hanging in there, man. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking, man. Just another day, man. Doing my thing like I usually do. Just thought I'd come on and see who had the actual balls to come up and meet me on panel. Just like the last time shit went down. You know, I gave you guys enough time to tell all your lies, twist your stories, spin narratives. And then after you did it, I showed up with receipts and the proof. And you were all made out to be liars. But yet, look who's following you. You have all these people that come to your channel to listen to you deceive them. And I've proven it on many of my streams towards many people. Still, you have a compulsion, an involuntary need to assist, serve, and apply your energy to these parasites. The more I think of being able to leave through a process of, even if it's neural racing, the confines of the human construct, you know, to me that don't sound like a half bad idea. So I know you guys love your body, and you got your Jesuses, and you got your Muhammads, your Marys, your whoever in the fuck, and who gives a fuck and who cares. That's what kept you from living. It's what's keeping you from living. You can't liberate yourself. You have no faith, and you are filled with fear. I just want to understand what the individualized hater actually thinks inside of their head when they reason with themselves that the atrocious action that they've done is justifiable in any way. That won't ever happen. We've done seen the most detestable on here, and you still go back to their platforms, which blows me the fuck away. You want to talk about dignity or morality or waking up or learning something? Well, there's plenty enough platforms out there that truly made shit shows of themselves, now cemeteries, where only the dead remain. The fuck? People believe. People believe what they want to believe. It doesn't matter if it's in. Oh, here it is. It is the truth or a lie. They believe whatever they want to believe. Yep. And no place that I have ever been has expressed that more than YouTube. Other than a courtroom or talking to a pig, patience, integrity, and guts. Is a truth or a lie. They just believe whatever they want to believe. Well, I got to see that again as I've been observing the last few days, working on certain strategies that maybe satirically a little more tame, because I understand you're all a bunch of Karens. But it could potentially be amusing to me. I would love for all these asinine personalities to have to stand before a person of influence after their behavior here and then try to be taken seriously. I don't know about you people, man. But you're not going to stop. I already know that. I am quite aware that you're not going to stop. You can't. You're addicted. You can't shut it down. You can't turn it off. You can't get away from it. You can't stop thinking about it. You're on here constant after constant after constant. Prove what point? That you're a bad actor in front of closed circuit television? Fuck, we already knew that. And it's like I always tell people that come to this fucking channel. If this isn't about you, or you're not getting it, then get it. As in lost. You're not wanted here, man. You weren't wanted here in the first place. What is it? What is that? Let's see the wall. Believe there's a lot of this cognizant dissonance. Yes, the whole man, ignorance is bliss saying comes into play because the truth sometimes hurts. Let me tell you, I've had about with a couple of truths here lately, and one of them I'll never get over, ever. And that's a really fucked up situation. To know that to the day that you die, that feeling of immense grief and hurt is going to be right there with you the whole fucking time. Because you dared to love. Because you dared to reach out. Because you exposed your vulnerability that you could appreciate and care for someone else. That maybe there was just one person in the whole world that was perfect. And no, it's not your fucking Jesus. So that was a hell of a suffering wound there. I wasn't ready to take full-heartedly. But I did. And I'll never recover from it. Is that what you people like? that what you get your jollies on? What do you sit around at night methodically thinking while watching South Park with a butt plug up your ass to keep you from shitting on yourself? These heinous, vicious little plans of sabotage and hate. These clannish little cults of dissidents, just like lurkers lurking into a channel. As far as I'm concerned, everyone that's lurking is working for the opposition. They're just here to pick the news from the tree, and they'll spin it their own way. And I'm not saying certain losses are more profound than others as a pissing contest. I've only let you fuckheads in on a little bit of what goes on in my world. And that little bit, when you think about it, is pretty goddamn extreme shit over 2 years. Some holes will remain empty. And when you've taken that final piece of a person's heart and you've ripped it out of them, there's no heart left. None. Just a black void. What you people do, you steal the life out of people. You're the offended. Freakophobic. Finger pointers. Persecutors. Defamation and character assassination. And Goblin, you got a lot of goddamn balls showing up here. Hit that fucking link, bitch. So let me put it down there for you. Now, I would like everybody to go to yesterday's live stream after, if this pussy has the balls to come up here, and see how he treated a female best friend of mine. I want you all to see the disgraceful, indignant way that Goblin Majesty treated one of the best friends I have in my life. Someone who was there for me when your ass wasn't, Goblin. You were trolling around behind the scenes, gathering information. You're just a coward, dude. A little backstabbing, covert coward, like the rest of them. And I don't know you or anybody else on here or anything. So you can throw your arms up in the air, cuss, scream, rant, rave, go ape shit ballistic, and run naked down the street. Because you know what? It doesn't affect you. And the day that I lost the potential for one of the greatest moments in my life, that was the final piece of my blood pumping heart. Just don't care anymore. They're not worth caring about. Karen. Karens. Karens everywhere. Because you're just not worth caring about. See, Goblin puts up his retaliative remark there. He did this because of that. Yeah. Well, if I retaliated on every motherfucker on these platforms that said shit about me, lies, truth, or other, I'd be just like you, Goblin, an angry little fuck. Spewing out your, this is why I did it. This is why I'm doing it. This is my excuse. Motherfucker, you got paper thin skin. The shit that's been said about me, and you've been there when it's been said, you little bitch. And I've hovered and watched, and you never once defended me. No, not if you're a troll, you wouldn't be angry. That means you find joy in what you're doing. You're not doing it out of some psychosis or mental deficiency. You're just that fucking heinous that you enjoy hurting people. What a shame. And what a sad way to get your not just fucking the thought of someone having to become that type of person to get a response because that's how inadequate they are. I'm not your role model, Goblin. I'm not your friend. I'm not anyone you should look up to. I am not anything to you of benefit. And first and foremost, I serve my father Satan, especially more now than any other time in my fucking existence. So go away, dude, before I ban you. Because you're not saying anything intelligent. And I'm not going to fucking sit here and dribble with you. What a fucking shame. No? And you guys, or at least there's a majority of you that know Goblin. You know the personality. You know who he is. You know what he is. You know what he preaches behind the scenes. And there you are supporting me. Making it easy on him to be a dissident. And then you wonder why you have shit platforms. Really? Maybe maybe a little pain just drilled right in my gut would give me the motivation to want to pursue even higher interest into this particular endeavor. But watching these replies, man. Well, Goblin, I'm glad that that's what you have to offer the world. I'm glad that's the extent of, if that was your final statement you had to say. Well, good. Since you're not looking for friends and you're happy and you're doing your own thing, goodbye. So I don't have to take shit from any of you. I had to go through this once before when it was Bex, Cage, JG. You know, always had an open platform where everybody could come and participate. And I had to go through one tyrannical rage of blocking people. Now I just don't care that I'm doing it at all. Before I thought, man, I really don't want to be doing this, man. Could be limiting potential. But what's the thought? I don't think I'm limiting potential. I think I'm keeping myself pretty well grounded in the facts that I know what these people are. I know what they stand for. I've done the algorithms. I've done the profiling, personality against mathematics by trait, watching things escalate with Moore's law. All the contemptuous little hearts beating to drum the other one to death. By what? And for what? This is a limited hangout. When you die from here, is all this really going to be your mark and creed on your existence here? Is this what you're going to say you had to offer? I think it would be quite interestingly funny if it was actually the only thing that you had in the end to show for yourself. A bunch of angry people. You call me a Satanist. Well, at least I started at the bottom and worked my way up. You know, I didn't claim some type of divinity and start halfway in the middle preaching bullshit. I started on the bottom run and climbed my way up to where I could see over the horizon. But I never forgot the way back down to the bottom of the ladder. I'm gonna play a song for me, not for you. I'm gonna light a cigarette. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy it as I watch the numbers fade away. Do you like to see those numbers fade? Maybe I should do a 2-hour tribute to Isom Wood. Sorry, I won't do that to you guys, but I will give you your ambiance for all your platforms.
Even in death, the human body still remains active, and the brain itself holds a small electrical charge that takes months to dissipate. Even in death, the human body still remains active. body still remains active. New cells are produced. And the brain itself holds a small electrical charge that takes months to dissipate. New cells are produced, and the brain itself holds a small electrical charge that takes months to dissipate. This provides a massive jolt both to cellular growth and to those trace electrical impulses. Quite simply, it reanimates the body. It's a massive jolt, but quite simply, it reanimates the body. It's a massive jolt, but quite simply, it reanimates the body.
Almost sounds like a song about the condition of YouTubers. Might as well be living off some small electric impulse in the head that just is primal enough to keep their bodies functioning and moving, but never coherently thinking beyond anything more than their own self-satisfaction or objectives. And if I've gotten under your skin with my disposition today, you were the one that chose to be here. Only one person come up on this panel, and that was Turok. I mean, at least that's dignity. That's something. Integrity. What have the rest of you done? Except for a couple in the chat that were very, very pleasant in their mannerisms and their sentiment. The rest of you, you'll never know the sacrifice that is made by the art and the heart of a true artist. They're never appreciated. Belushi, Carlin, he was appreciated, I guess, by some circles. Pryor, a lot of good comedians over the years. Some good prop comedians, some good off the cuff. Even with music, man. When I grew up and I really started enjoying the sound of music, the principle and the point at that time was to be as extreme, loud, aggressive, and absolutely shocking. So that there would be lines of religious fanatics protesting your concert. And parents would keep their kids locked up at home in fear that the devil-worshipping rock and rollers might devour their little souls. And against all adversity, we did what we did in many different ways and forms. But it all seems that in the end, it's always the most profound that go out the hardest and quickest. Morrison, Hendrix, Joplin, and those were the three big J's. Never cared for Jefferson Airplane. But they made an impact with their excessive lifestyles. They were entertainers. And generally, an entertainer is someone who's been damaged. And they use that as a medium, kind of a generalized coping skill to be able to get through. Robin Williams. But you guys, you took the fun out of that too. You took every last bit of enjoyment out of all of it. That's why you got the shit for entertainment you got these days. You don't have stars, famous people. You got plastic molds. That's all you'll ever have. And even if this was my last stream, I don't regret this. For the fact that I think anybody that listens to this with any seriousness would readjust their thinking to what they're allowing themselves to participate in and be a part of, because you're a part of the fucking disease. You just don't give a goddamn. But boy, you do like to get people in trouble. I see that. And I don't want to fucking part of you fuckers. Anyhow, I'm going to play a couple of songs on the way out. I'll drop the link if you got some balls. Otherwise, you can listen to a few songs that I want to hear. And then, after I get some rest, I'm going to follow through with the second half of this stream, which is not near as polite by any stretch of the imagination.
And you might think, well, maybe people who have deprived and traumatic upbringings use that experience in their creative work. the passions that they feel and the horrors that they have experienced emerge in the music. Between genius and madness. Between genius and madness. Now, if we look at some of the great geniuses in the past, a number of them seem to have gone mad in their mature years. That bipolar mood disorder overlaps with schizophrenia, madness and creativity. That bipolar mood disorder overlaps with schizophrenia, madness and creativity. A bit like somebody on an acid trip. 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 What is it that links genius and madness? Particularly music. What is it that links genius and madness? Particularly music.
You know, there was a time when people who held a little twinge of madness were appreciated because of the level and the sometimes surrealistic art that they produced. Sometimes it was the passion. Sometimes it was just something deep in the soul that come out of the person when they created, and it set them apart. They became the masters, not necessarily the Pythagorean masters or But you had Salvador Dali, Hieronymus Bosch. I mean, a little eccentric, but incredible artist. I guess you would have bastardized them on YouTube too, huh? Guess you would have took them down by the throat, doxed them, threatened them, destroyed their livelihood. I bet you would have sat and drooled like rabid dogs to have gotten at them. Why? Because you can't do what they do? Because you can't think like they think? Because you couldn't create anything that profound with your own goddamn hands? That you'd rather point your finger at them? I like to think of myself as a type of innovation. Now I see it wasn't even worth the fucking. What's the effort? I'll be back later on tonight. Hopefully. Unless I just decide to sleep the fuck through. No better reason than to just sleep the fuck through. Oh, hold on. I do have to pay homage. I'm sorry. You can hate me if you want to. Most of the world does. I'm averaged it out to about 99.9999% of the people on the face of this earth absolutely despise my existence. So it really doesn't matter what I do because it's going to be hated anyhow. So before I play a final song, here you go. Some things can never be repaired.
Trembling with horror and throbbing with emotion. Trembling with horror. Trembling with horror. Trembling with horror. Trembling with horror. Welcome to hell.
All of my most sensitive areas were inflamed, my extremities pulsating with tingling sensation.
Welcome to hell. Have we seen the actual reality of a monstrous crime, or merely an illusion, the product of a tortured brain? Obsessed with the taste of flesh. He was cruel and a sadist.
Swaying back and forth, a beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip.
A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip.
A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip.
A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip. It was all very good.
Sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
My head is spinning. My head is spinning. My head is spinning.
Sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
My head is spinning. My head is spinning. My head is spinning.
Sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
No one had a bad trip.
mind of man rests on a delicate balance between reality, the world of light, and the other, darker world, low threshold of consciousness. Welcome to hell.
You. Do you know that? We're happy to have you with us tonight and hope you'll come back often.